Hello, my dear students of Netaji Public School, Hassan, who are studying in 7th standard. Till now, we have discussed about memory in our chapter 1, that is more about computers and some storage devices. In this video, we learn about the generations of computers. That means how this generation of computers began and in at present we are in which generation of these computers. Shall we start today's class, students? Yes, generations of the computer. The generations of the computer explain how the computers have developed from the early bulky machines to the modern ones that we use nowadays. Means you might have seen old black and white pictures, right? There, these computers was no way look like today. It was a bulky machine. The generations of the computers have been divided into 5 stages. Let's study in detail. So there are 5 stages of this generation. We will study each stage or each generation in detail in this video. First generation, that is from year 1940 to 1958. This we call it as a first generation of computers brought in an era of modern computing. Means first generations means from 1940s this computer concept began in the world. The computers are designed and constructed during this time have been called the first generation computers. Means these are the basic computers. First generation computers were usually built by hand using circuits containing bridges or vacuum tubes. What is this vacuum tubes and what are these bridges? We will detail study in our higher classes. They are used punch cards for punched paper tape for input as the main or non-volatile storage medium. Means all the things are hardware, right? And this computer is made by a hand, not done by a machines or other circuits. There is no circuit concept in the first generation computers that we know. See, children, this is the first computer, first generation computer. Is this look like today's computers? No, right? It's a very bulky thing. John Macaulay and John Presper Erect designed ENIAC, that is abbreviated as Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computers. Means these two, John Macaulay and John Presper, invented this first generation computer, often called the first electronic general purpose computer. You can see the wires and meters all were connected to this bulky machines, and it was 1,000 times faster than its contemporaries means the previous computers which were there, which was called as a computers. Comparing to those systems, this is a very much faster. They are calling it as 1,000 times faster than those previous generation computers. And next comes the second generation computers. This is about 1959 to 1964. They developed that first generation computers into some more advancement and with a more electrical techniques that we will study. The inventions of transistors means there was no transistors concept in the first generation computers, and this was invented in 1947 and proved to be a next major step. This transistors plays very much major step to get the compact computers that we are using today from that bulky side, replacing that bulky sized computers. This replaces the edges and power consuming was with a smaller and more reliable component. Yeah, this became a very reliable component. These transistors became very reliable component to develop these second generation computers. Computer where transistors are called second generation computers. So computer, we saw how that first generation computer was looking. So those computers only, but with the small change, that is about bringing its transistors to those systems are called as second generation computers and were quite popular in late 1950s and early 1960s. That is 1959 to 1964, the era of second generation computers were there. In spite of using transistors and printed circuits, these computers were still large, were mainly meant for universities, governments, and large corporations. Main, these computers can be still used in a government and universities like a large sections of the society. So, shall we recall once again what is second generations of computer? The invention of the transistor is the main thing in the second generation of computer, and this replaced the edge and power consuming with a smaller and more reliable component. And computer with transistors are called a second generation computers, which were there in the existence around 1950s and 1960s, early ages of 1960s. And in spite of using transistors and printed circuits, were still large with the universities and government and large corporations. This is how the second generation computers were looking. See how much it became compact. You can see the difference between the first generation and second generation computers. So next we move on to the third generation computers, which were in the period of 1965 to 1970. That is 5 years. These third generation computers were in the existence. The use of computers became widespread with the third generation computer. Obviously, in the second generation computers, we have seen how much the computer became compact. So every universities and government sectors started using computers, and the use of computers became widespread. Means it was more while coming to this third generation computers. They were based on the inventions of integrated circuit or microchip. I told you there was no concept like circuits in the first and second generation computer. These concepts were developed from the third generations, right? From the third generations, this circuit concept were developed, and in now most of all the machines we can see the integrated circuits or microchips. Integrated circuits allowed the development of smaller computers that started computing into many small scale businesses too. Means this third generation computer was very helpful in a small scale businesses in handling the small scale computer businesses. We already know why we use computer because of us work efficiency and it is very faster. So in the business they started using computers from the third generation. So it became widespread after the second generation, and they were based on the inventions of integrated circuits or microchips. And in businesses these computers were started using more and more by the third generation started. IBM announced the iconic S360 series in 1964. You should remember this name, that is IBM announced the iconic S360 series in 1964. From this, the third generation computer started, and it was the first of its kind that supported a wide range of software that different combinations of speed, capacity, and prices. The whole shape and functions of computing was changed by this third generation. They started using software and the speed capacity was more efficient compared to previous two generations, and it was also the first system to handle alphanumeric data. So alphanumeric data nothing but alpha means alphabets we use a b c d e, and numerics that is 1 2 3 we use, right? So that became very convenient and possible with this generation computers. You can see how the third generation computer were looking like. We can see the color display and the keyboard which we use till now, and this is a CPU part which was preformed in the next two generations that we will study. Next comes the fourth generation of computer, that is 1971 to present. Till now we are using this fourth generation computers. The fourth generation computers began with Makarin-Hoff's invention of microprocessor. So this microprocessor is a new thing in the fourth generation computers. So we use this microprocessor in our mobile phones also, and it brings a large change in the computer history. On November 15, 1971, Intel released the world's first commercial microprocessor, that is 4004. This was the first microprocessor. Which was the first microprocessor, children? Yes, that is Intel released the commercial microprocessor. That the name follows like this. 4004 is the first microprocessor, and when it came into the existence, it came on November 15, 1971. See, this is our fourth generation computer coupled with Intel's RAM chip. RAM. What is RAM, students? That is a random accessible memory, which was based on the invention by Bob Denard of IBM, and the microprocessor made it possible for fourth generation computers to be smaller and faster than ever before. It is a very important thing, isn't it? The fourth generation computers are very smaller and even faster than ever before. Why? We use the microprocessor in this first generations, which was never used in the previous three generations. This is our fourth generation computer, and we can observe the CPU, keyboard, mouse, and monitor all get formed with a perfect shape and size and its functions with this fourth generation computer. And the last generations, we can call it as a future generation also, that is fifth generation computer. So till now we are using the computer as a machine, right? But in our future it will be in a robotic forms. We see how the robots are. Where are the early generations focused on evolving the CPU component, isn't it? We kept on inventing about the more faster processing units, and if we take our mobile as an example, we can see the various versions of Android. Now the Android 10 we are using, like that only the CPU get changes and updated from these years, and the fifth generation computers aim to use large number of CPUs for massive power and processing, means large number of CPUs, that is central processing units, to process large amount of data with the fastest process. The goal is to create an immense and to develop artificial intelligence. Yes, this is our future and present research going on, that is artificial intelligence. We know what is intelligence that we have. If machine also get this intelligence, what it become? That will be discovered in the fifth generation computing or fifth generation computers. AI is the technology, that is artificial intelligence is the technology wherein computers would understand and respond to human language and expressions. Means now we need a special language for a computer, that is C, C++, like that. We will study in our university or graduation level. In our next generations or today only, we are using Google voice note and Alexa, Amazon Alexa, like that. We are just saying what you have to do and that machine reacts like a human being. It understands what we are saying. That is called as artificial intelligence. This will be the more powerful computers than ever before. See, these are the fifth generation computers which we are using now. That is laptops, iPads, smartphones, tabs, and VR. These all comes under the present fifth generation computer. And next, this is our future, that is robots. This is the computer shape will totally change and it has its own intelligence like us, and what we say it will do without any slow or without any processing problems. That is the goal of the fifth generations computers, which is getting in the present and beyond, that is in future. So this much today's videos, we have discussed all the five generations of computers very briefly, and in our next video we will discuss about the types of computers. What are all the types of computers are there and why we need those types? We will discuss those types in our next video. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.